Hey everyone, welcome to the Dark Helmet Racing League, Season 7, Round 5. We're at Monza. Good turnout tonight. We had 29 cars. Lots of hard battling all race long through most of the race for everyone. Little bits of contact here and there. Let's see what iRaceControl gave us for incident reports and see what we need to do here. Feature looks like we got a bit to look at. And the sprint, I'm just going to turn these guys off so I don't have to stare at them. Sprint, we got a bunch too. All right, it's going to take a bit, so let's get into it. It's weird. Everyone just being patient through turn one. Boom. No action there. No action there. No action on that one. Actually, I'm in the wrong race. That's what's going on. That was all our sprint, or our feature. This is what I was looking for. Our sprint start. Similar issues. This is very similar. Just making sure no gain of position there. No action. Gotta slow down anyways. That's the driver he got. So no action. Self-spin. So we'll just watch the rejoin. Which all the cars will be gone by the time rejoin, so no action. Had a very similar thing happen in the feature, so let's see if he had a big slide here. Nope. In the feature, I had a big slide in this corner, and then in catching it here, and then as soon as I turned to the next one, it just went. All right, no action there. Ouch. No action there. Nothing really going on there. That's just trying to get going and lost it again. Alright, so this is one to review. What happened here? We joined it right at the point of contact. Go to close chase so we don't get the bridge playing a factor here. But if you follow the white line on the side of the road or the seam over, so this is on the blue Porsche. So just make sure there wasn't anything further here, which there isn't. And the redress wasn't straight away, so nope. So there was loss of positions. We could do minor, but more than likely it's just going to be a 2.5 for the loss of positions. Pull up my rule set here just to make sure. Turn into apex. Braking zone. Yeah, so 2.5 due to loss of position. Okay. Oh. Right driver. 29. Oh, sorry, number 20. Driver of the number 20. Avoidable contact. Okay. Noted for this driver. Watch the blue car from behind. I don't think that's going to change anything, but let's go to the same camera view. This is the risk that you run this close to each other, but the Aston really doesn't change line. You can see the Porsche is slowly moving over compared to the seam. So it's on the Porsche for sure. Ever so slight movement, but when you run this close to each other, bound to happen. Also, this track kind of narrows up a little bit here, so the Aston is staying true to the edge of the track. He can't really bear off anything else, so I'll still be on the Porsche for sure. Jeff being very patient there to get rejoined. Okay, another bit of incident here. Alright, so if we walk this forward just ever so slightly and just watch the trajectory of the Corvette, was the Corvette going to be leaving space and was the Aston going to make the corner? We're going to call track edge as the white line, which is what we say in our rules. Everything else is technically off track, so this driver needs to give space to the apex of the corner. And if we walk it forward, I don't think that space was going to be given. The trajectory of the Corvette is within one car width of the inside there. So contacts had, And he loses all his spots here. It's on him, so I'm not going to penalize here. I'm just going to note it. But the other car didn't lose any positions because of the contact. This driver did, and this one was the one that was the cause. So. Very similar to the call that should have been made in Formula One this morning. For those that watched it, I'm not going to say anything more than that for those that didn't. No action. So no contact led to this. This is just losing it on his own by looks. Yep. Car's got a lot of damage, so I'm pretty sure he tries to tow this. I'm hoping. Yep. No action. Good avoidance. Very good avoidance there. No action. Unfortunately, Brandon here was completely unsighted and did also a good job to avoid it. But fortunately, after that, okay, no action there. Troy also had to avoid this. Oh, whoa, he's got some horseshoes there. I believe Michael's waiting for him. This Michael gets rejoined. The other one's up on the side of the track up there waiting. Let's see if they get past each other here. No, he's gone now. We tried to redress, but at this point, the other driver had taken off. So that would be this driver. In the sprint, got nothing for you. Nothing to lap for at all. So, driver of the 42. Assistant 2.5. Okay. Noted. That was in the feature. Pretty sure that was a feature. Maybe not. Nope. I can't remember. It might not have been. I think I was ahead of you. All right, on to the next one. Action. This did leave that driver with damage. So that was James, I think. Yeah. Jeff was blinking, but for my stuff, he was back invisible. 214. Avoidable contact 2.5. Okay. Noted. Yeah, we'll go find it after. What's happening here? Because this was after the contact. If I caught him again. Technically, that giant white line there is the edge of the track. So passing where he did is on Jeff for the contact. He's passing off track. I know it's paved, but gonna leave this one as noted. Nothing to penalize for Jeff here because he self-penalized, basically gave the position back and then pulled off. Noted for James too. The Porsche came from a way far back into the brake zone. I'm not I'm not gonna say that he moved over. All right, last lap for these guys. At the braking point, he was ahead. At that point, he can still move left or right to set up for the corner. He's not necessarily blocking and he's not taking your line away. He just moved to the left to take the normal braking line. So let's review this one because I missed it. Big lunge. And then throw back through him. Okay, this is on 34. Noted. We can go look at it again, but he has every right to move over here. In the braking zone, he's ahead. There's no overlap. He doesn't need to leave you space. He's just moving to set himself up in the corner. He's clear. He's allowed to move. Front to rear contact. Gets on the car behind. Okay, and then like Looks has another little spin. Then we'll go find Brandon and Nathan's incident. Action there. All right, so if we go to lap 3, pick somebody at random here, and a no action, and then go find everyone else. There we go. So if we go back here on this lap, nope. Lap 4. So first, battle up in front. This for me was a 0x. What if it would have caused an X? Could it have been a penalty? Not really. I came down on him ever so slightly, and I went to practice. Great. Eat for. So this one, if it was an incident point, would it have been a penalty? No. He got to apex. He got it stopped. Didn't run wide. I didn't give quite enough space, but in the end, we both made it through. Gave me just enough space here, so that one's fine. And then we did it again here. Just enough space. And then let's go look at this one. I can't believe Brandon saved that. Looks like Gravel had a huge helping hand. But so here Nathan has overlap in past the braking zone before turn in. So now there is overlap. They're good. At apex, they're still good. As they go exit the corner, the car on the inside starts pushing out a little bit, runs into him. So this would have generated an incident point, which it probably caused a 0 to 2, but probably just a 0. And maybe even a 1x. Definitely probably a 1x, 0 to 1 maybe. Would have been at most a minor. A loss of 1 position. I'm not going to give it 2.5. A loss of many positions would have definitely done something, but if you want to put in a protest, you can. But I'm just reviewing it because we said we were going to. And hey, this is hard racing here. And iRacing kind of embellishing the little lean on each other here more than anything. So as long as everyone's happy with it, we can carry on. All right, feature. We had a few people. Yeah, if you redressed in turn 1, then great. Feature, we've already gone through a couple, so let's go through this one. Our first. Oh, that's super unfortunate. All right, so let's let's watch how this unfolded. Gotta love the love in the comments, guys. All right, so I think it's Bradley in the Mustang here. Just drops wheel on exit, and it hooks left on him at the wrong time. Hits Ryan, spins Ryan. Ryan's race is kind of run at that point, and he gets collected by more people. So Bradley had stopped. Yeah, so since he had a tow, it's going to be unfortunately a 2.5 on Bradley here, just to be consistent. Accidents do happen, and this is an accident, but it's still can be penalized. Driver of the 89. Right. Go away. Alright, that's that one. Which then noted for him. I think Mooney was involved in this on the recovery side. So unfortunate for Mooney. So this is all part of the same incident, so just noted. Phil, who had that little touch on the way in, drove through the chaos there. So noted for him too. And I think Alex here is the last one. Almost made it through, just cut tagged. He's part of the noted. Okay. Nickerson. So this is the opposite of when it happens. And this gave. Was this avoidable? So this is different than the first incident. The other one was sliding onto a racing line. This one's a driver losing it. And this one's completely unavoidable. Like the first one, the driver was off track, lost it, came onto the track. This was two drivers on the track. One's losing control, the other one's there. So this is just unfortunate racing incident. Yes, very similar, but not the same, unfortunately. This does quite a lot of damage for both of them. Action, Jeff with a 4X. I'm going to go to the closer camera. Wrong button. I really stopped hitting the wrong button here. There's a flash of the brake lights that I'm trying to figure out here from the Porsche. Do it on here. So, picked his line. Yeah, there's a hit of the brakes right there, which causes the 4X. There was no reason to brake there other than to make somebody swerve around you. You can't just slam on the brakes to serve a slowdown on racing line with a car that has some overlap. Just if you have a slowdown, you gotta try to bleed it safely, because that led to that contact. And I'm just gonna note it for now. Let's not do that kind of thing in future. If you are serving a slowdown and you have to tap the brakes, make sure nobody's got any kind of proximity near you. Oh. Okay. This will probably be a rejoin. Yeah. Right on the light racing line. Oops, not no action. That one's actually a 5. I'm going to put it on the other driver involved in it, but it's going to be for this driver. Driver of the 214. And that one is a dangerous rejoin. That's a 5-pointer. First of the season for that. Yes, it's on this driver's name, but it's for the other driver, just because I messed up where I put the call, but action, spinning at rear wing. Like Mooney's got all repaired and everything. Oh. Again, this is a racing incident between those two. You have a driver having a crash and another driver getting involved in it. Everyone else did a really good job to avoid this. Is this all under blue flag is another question. So Mooney's in 27th. And Ryan's in 13th here. Alright, so we'll have it in the rules for next season for blue flags, and I can automate it through iRaceControl if I really want to. If you are being blue flagged, do your best to be a sportsman here and just let the pack go. Your situation got a little out of hand, and unfortunately it wrecked other people's races. I'm not going to do anything on this one. It's just for future. Let's try to be not going through Ascari too wide if you're trying to let cars go. Steven here gets the short end of the stick. He was in a good battle with everyone, and his race gets ended. And that car is Very damaged. I'm just going to leave that one as noted, because it is a 4X with nothing else at the... So, that one sucks, but there's nothing we can really do there. It's a racing incident that caused it, but... Action. Action. Ryan. Back in there. Action. On. I decided I needed to see him again. Just make sure the rejoin here is good, which it is. Action. Action. Action there too. The trees. But I'm sure we're doing the rejoin fine here. So no action. Philip. It's gonna throw me back to here again. And he's waiting. Just giving the spot back. Reverse the situation. It's nice to see. But let's just go back a little bit further just to see what led up to it. And it's not going to be a penalty because of the redress, but they got battle. Then Phil just breaks pretty deep. Not too deep, but pretty deep. But pinches it down really tight. Makes the apex. But this time, Porsche just needed a little space. So this one's... Would it have been a penalty? Let's go look at the other side. Car chase. Phil made the corner, and it's neck code more than anything. Case. Let's go to the next car. Did they actually touch? No, net code. Would they have? Would the contact have been enough to spin them? Probably not in real life. Like it would have just been a little bit of a moment. That one sucks. But good sportsmanship there. So I'm just gonna leave those both noted. Sportsmanship to give it back. That's probably having another little spin. Yep. Action. On 1 to 2. Big drift. Action. Emmett, what happened here? Just a snap. That was wild. And then he does the nice thing if you're dragging it off racing line. And I'm not sure if he drives it back to pits or if he tows. I think he tows. That was a wild spin. Not really sure what caused that. That rejoin's fine. Yeah. That's unfortunate. He was having a good battle there. Had a rough night, though. A lot of it not his doing. And that is it. I just want to go look at one thing for myself, which was in the feature on lap 1. Why the hell did I have absolutely no rear grip? In the first exit of the first Lesmo, I had a moment. Going to the second Lesmo, I had 0 rear grip. I just want to see how big the moment was that caused this. Yeah. Little slide, but as soon as I go to turn in, just gone. iRacing saying that I overheated tires, I guess. Anyways, that's it for tonight. Next week, we are at Suzuka with rain on a rolling start. That should be lots of fun. On Tuesday night for the MX5s, we are at Indy, which is the old road course from the 2009. So a little different than the current road course. If you're interested in that, come on out. It should be a fun drafting battle. Long straight doing that configuration. The chicanes at the end of the front or the end of the lap aren't there. Basically, go from as soon as you get onto the banking, you're on that all the way down to turn 1. So